Whew, it's finally happened, guys. We're finally starting to see some miles on a Hurricane. Let me know, do you think they're holding up or do you think they are falling apart? So before we get too in deep, yes, I do work at a Ram dealership. Yes, I'm a sales guy, whatever. Believe me, that does not mean I'm biased towards them. When Ram's done stupid stuff or things that I think they didn't do a good job of, I am the first one to tell you. It does not bother me one bit whatsoever because the facts are the facts and reality is reality. There's no reason to pretend. If they did a good job, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. And I can't change that either way. If you guys follow the channel, you know that driving-wise, I have been a huge fan of the Hurricane. The way it feels, the way it functions. I've been super impressed with it, and I've had the opportunity to sell quite a few of them. Given that all we do is trucks here, I work with a lot of people who own businesses, fleets, things like that. And I'm starting to see some of those guys put a lot of miles in a, relatively for how long they've been out. 5, 7, even one guy said he's almost at 10,000 miles on his Hurricane Ram. So I always like getting real world feedback from people. I'm in all the forums, the groups, the everything. I like to keep up with things so I can give my customers and you guys real world feedback. And so far, the feedback has been impeccable. People are loving the Hurricane, those that actually own them. Again, if you guys follow the channel, I've been saying, I know mentally we're sad about the Hemi, we like the V8s, but the way these drive, they feel amazing and you're going to like it once you give it a chance. But a lot of people are hesitant to do that. Of course, it's a new thing, I get it, right? But overall, guys, so far people are loving it, and it's important to keep in mind it's not necessarily just the motor. Ram did make some improvements overall to the features of the trucks that come standard, as well as a lot of other things. Now, no matter what you do, when you first come out with something, there's going to be some hiccups, okay? It's not unique to Ram or anything like that. In fact, there's another brand that's supposed to have never had a problem ever in its existence. You know what I'm talking about. That's having a huge, massive recall with the motor they came out with not too terribly long ago. Now, I'm not making excuses for things like that to happen. They certainly shouldn't, but things do happen. The reality is there's no test like thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of these vehicles being on the road day in, day out, putting miles on them, towing with them, things like that. That's when you truly find out what these things are made of. So with that being said, and with that in mind, overall, the Hurricane has been received very well by the people that own them. They're super happy with the power, the way it feels, the way they tow. Fuel economy is not necessarily that much better than, say, something like a Hemi, but it is a little bit of an improvement under some circumstances, which, especially right now, nobody minds saving a little bit of money, right? Of course, none of us have ever been opposed to spending less money on gas. Some other reports I have from a lot of people, being techs, customers, things like that, just the way they're designed, the high output Hurricane is a fantastic, great motor. The standard output is a very good motor, but not quite as good as something like the high output. Now, there's some minor differences there. If you guys are watching this video, you probably know those. You guys know I'm not the overly in-depth kind of channel. Colin, he works here too. He is. I'll put a link to his channel. But overall, both motors have been performing very well. Mostly, I've sold the standard outputs, and those reports have all been very good. Now, one thing I wanted to touch on was that I am sad that they killed the Hemi. We could get into the EPA reasons, and they say that in order to keep up and be kind of certifiable, quote unquote, whatever, they would have had to choke that motor down so bad that it really just wouldn't have been what it was. But, we could go into some more details about that. Overall, I really wish they would have done something more like Ford does, right? Not saying Ford's a better truck or whatever, hold your horses. I'm just saying, in general, Ford offers a base V6, the 2.7 EcoBoost, 3.5 EcoBoost, the 5-liter, and a hybrid, right? So you have like 5 choices that you can really pick what you want in your truck. Because believe it or not, guys, whether we like to admit it or not, Ford does sell more trucks than anybody. And I think a lot of that is because there's so many options. I think it would have been really awesome if Ram had the 3.6 V6, the Pentastar, right? Good motor, people like it. You could have the standard output Hurricane, you could have the Hemi, and you could have the high output Hurricane. And we all have heard the rumors about the Ram Charger and the hybrids and whatever else you want to say that they've been rumoring. We all know those things are coming. So I think having all of those options would have been an amazing thing for Ram to do. Even GM has something kind of going on like that, right? They have their 2.7, Turbo Max or whatever they call that thing now. They have the Baby Duramax, the 5.3, the 6.2. I mean, there's just choices. Whereas with Ram now, you got the Pentastar and hopefully you like one of the Hurricanes. But that's going to pretty much do it, guys. If you have any more questions, concerns, comments, any of that stuff, feel free to drop it in the comments below. If you are interested in any truck you see out here, I'll leave my info down below. You could shoot me an email. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.